are we are on. Good morning, YouTube. We are here. Not lady. We were talking about a little bit before it start this immersion YouTube. So good morning for you. We are here with Norberto, Ianca, and João to talk a little bit about the role of judgments in our perceptions. And before that, just the common advice about Talk and Talk. You can check all the languages available on the Talk and Talk's website, but we can improve communications in French, Italian, Spanish, and English for a while. But always there are some new languages to study and practice. And this is only a conversation. We call them immersions. It's not a this is not a class, and I'm here as a student to help guide in this conversation. So I'm student with all of us here, and yeah, that's it. Let's start. Norberto, please, could you read and answer the first question?
Okay. Guys, I will read all my answers, okay?
Okay, okay.
So, question number one, why do you think people often jump to conclusions when meeting someone new? So, people often jump to conclusions because it's a natural human tendency to make quick judgments based on initial impressions. Our brains are wired to process information rapidly, and we use past experience and stereotypes to form opinions quickly. This helps us make sense of the world, but it can lead to misunderstandings and unfair judgments.
Yeah. Perfect. And for you, Yanka, you have some ads because Norberto said everything, I guess.
Ah, the definition.
The perfect definition.
Oh my God. Yes, I would like to add, sometimes maybe complement what Norbert said. Sometimes I feel that during our life, well, why we jump to conclusions? Because during our life, I think that we build ideas in our minds, maybe. And I feel that we have like inputs, when we are child, we have inputs that came from our parents, our friends, our environment, and this starts to build an image of everything in our minds about people, about food, about a lot of things, I think. We are more passive in this moment, but when we became an adult, I think that we turn more active in these actions, and we start to search for news, lectures, things that will alimentate our mind and our ideals. And I
I
think
see.
that these things that we consume and the things that and the way that we were created made us to judge, not to judge, but to,
I think to judge it all.
I like to say preconcepts. There
Yeah,
is preconceito, but preconcepts, we have
yeah,
concepts.
I
We
got you.
built these concepts in our minds.
Yeah.
So I think that we start to do that, and this shape our vision about the others. And this can
Yeah,
change. This is changing. Because if you are an adult and you are open to change your mind, you can have conversations and sometimes agree, sometimes do not agree. But the change becomes from this contact, the tese, antithese, and the synthesis from all of it. And I think that
I see.
we evolve like this.
Yeah, I like to explain something, bring some examples. Um, And I have a perfect example to give my answer. I'm going to start with my way to think. Currently, I can't trust in almost anyone. I trust only myself. So my explanation now. My parents, since I was child, I had a lot of problem with my parents. For example, when I was on my technical school, IT technical course, my mom said I had a time that my mom said to me that I was spend a lot of money, and she would ask to my father to stop my cars. I had 15 years old, 14 years old. Currently, I live in a house, my father's house, but I rent this house for him. And besides, there are some insects here. There is infested scorpions for, and we found some scorpions here these days. And my father was solving a problem with his car, and decided to put me in a wait time before to try to help me. These kind of things shape me to understand that I need to do everything by myself. So I could give my context to you to understand why I trust only myself the most of time. And of course, I have a lot of examples to confirm my thoughts. You know, in my life, I have a lot of examples in my life, but to not extend a lot this answer, I think this is a good one. And yeah, that's it. Well, I think oh my goodness. João, please, your turn.
Okay. Well, during Sean Sean video to us, I guess the women he is
Deaf.
will deaf, okay? Because verbal time. I processing that, okay?
Okay.
I guess that because when boy spoke it, the woman don't show any reaction. Then the sound is nothing to her. Well, okay. About the question, to me, human being pretty often that jump to conclusion. It's a common any areas, okay, any areas, because a human being is that way. I why I speak that because my older son was 3 years. Okay, 3 years.
Okay.
Then my son asked to my mother-in-law.
Right.
Listen that. My wife is a beautiful mulatto, beautiful woman. Okay, but my mother-in-law is a white woman. Oh, white, like a paper. My
Yes.
father-in-law is a black man. Okay. Then, okay, of course, my mother-in-law is a blonde woman. Okay, it's okay, no problem. Okay, but my kid living with us normally in my house don't don't exist, or there isn't any preconcept preview concept preview or any way. Okay, anyway. Of course, in my home, my wife and me live. Okay, we shout to him good behavior.
Yeah.
Don't comment nothing. But my kid asked to my mother-in-law, grandmother, because my grandfather is a black man. Little curiosity, but sometimes we, my wife and me, realize a little difference, a little comment, not not bad. Like my kids don't have in age, of course, in time, malicious comment, but in your ingenuity,
Just a curiosity.
child, a little preconcept about
Yeah,
this, because my another son never asked that.
I see.
Then incredible that,
Yeah,
because in my home I show my love to my wife, to
yeah,
my
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Then
I
incredible
see.
that. Then I believe human being has in your side inside these things. But
Yeah,
of course, environment,
yeah, yeah,
people in your surround
yeah,
maybe increase or improve this behavior. We we see in the world today, but
yeah.
this thing to me begin inside the people, the person. Okay, wherever. Strange episode in my life. Okay.
You bring us in
Oh,
intriguing
one
or
thing more. One thing
intriguing
more.
thing.
We, my family, we answer to him, but we handle this thing of like a normal thing. Then,
Yeah, yeah,
because that my kids, okay, receive this information, then practice behavior, normal behavior.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
very important that, because the answer is a most important to this case,
I
because my
agree.
wife answer preconcept or preview concept
Yeah,
bad,
yeah.
okay, whatever. I think it affect my kids. Okay, today is a common, but we realize this thing. Very interesting. Yes, very interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
welcome. Thank you for sharing because you bring us an amazing situation that you have been lived. Amazing when I talk in this about the integrating. I don't know if it's correct because your son is in a safe and lovely place to be, and he had this behavior, and I totally agree with you. I think the environment is the most important thing to influence us, but something is about our human being at all, for good and bad things.
We talking about that. One little thing more. We
Okay, okay.
talk about with my wife and me. We guess about maybe TV. Maybe TV produce this question in your mind, in kids' mind. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
makes sense.
because it has a children programs, but sometimes we can't follow with him
Yeah,
all time. Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is impossible. Then
Yeah,
few things maybe cause this curiosity in my kids. I think okay, whatever.
makes sense. Makes some
This
sense.
think only think in the time um, out our control because
Yeah, yeah,
like you said, okay, lovely environment
yeah,
in my
yeah,
home, okay, yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe that.
Yeah, I have my father is a black man, and my mom is a white one, and all my father's relatives are black, and the opposite for my mother. And of course, I love both of them, and I try to show to my kids this we have to. Not to defer in anyone, and but like you said, it's hard, and in my case, my children don't live with me, so it's more difficult yet. So yeah, that's it, guys. Let's move on to the next one, because we are talking about on the first question. Question number 2. Yanka, could you read and answer the question number 2, please, for us?
Yes, let's see. If you have been judged unfairly in the past, would you have handle it differently now? Well, for sure. I think every time that I suffer discrimination, I pass one moment and I think, oh, I should have done this, should have speak that, and so on. But sometimes I just did what I could did in that moment, you know. Sometimes I just stay quiet and listen and look at the face of that person. And I sometimes I can't do nothing because
Yeah.
I became shocked, you know, because discrimination, no one alerts you, oh, I'm going to discriminate you now, okay? No, just came, you know, you are living your life, and from nothing, someone says something very bad, and you just look at that and get shocked sometimes. So sometimes a lot of times I did nothing
And
because of this.
I have a question for you, Yanka. If you have been seen a child like João Sans say something bad, consider the João context. How would you react? Consider you had been listened this history from João. It's a hard question.
Uh, I'm so sorry, Osvaldo and João. I prefer do not comment. I think that we are not
Okay.
here to convince one of other about our ideas and so on. And I'm
Yeah,
afraid
yeah,
to be
yeah. Okay.
offensive sometimes.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm sorry
But
for my question, okay?
it's okay.
Hard situation, really. Yes, I know that, but
Yeah.
It's okay.
it's a
I
life.
prefer
It's a
just
life. Yes.
to keep my thoughts to myself in this moment. But thinking about the question, and it's very common when I came to my mom, for example, and tell to her what happened, she said to me, "Oh, but you should have done this." And like it's so easy to the other person to say, "Oh, you should have fight, you should have questioned it." But when we suffer discrimination, it's strange. I don't know if you ever had passed through this kind of situation,
I've
but
passed.
it's so difficult. Yeah,
I've
because
passed.
I don't know how you react about it, but I am trying to learn. When we thinking about that I am a Black woman and so on, when we are raised, I was not teach to answer. No one teach me how to answer this. I had
Yeah.
to learn by myself during the time and vary by environment. Like in my job, I have to be polite. I have to talk in a good way. Because if I am aggressive, I will give to them the reason to act in that way with me. So I have to be civilized, like a teacher. Oh, you can't say that I am incompetent in this way, okay? You can, because I
I see
am
you.
not. We
Yeah.
have to be polite and kind, because if I am aggressive, I will be the Black women aggressive again,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's very difficult. And with my family, it's a different way. We have to learn by ourselves how to act. I think this is a problem too, because we
Yeah. Yeah.
lose sometimes the opportunity to teach some in some moment, or
Yeah.
to not just to teach, but to share our experience with oppression to the other, see how it hurts sometimes. So yeah, I think that I should have done more in some moments.
Okay, okay. Thank you for answer. And one more time, I'm sorry if I was inconvenient, okay? I'm
It's
sorry.
okay as well.
Uh, João, please, could you answer for us the question number 2?
Interesting, because that, yes, yes, I am judged that. Okay, I'm sorry because about don't racism. But I committed that in car traffic, transit, car traffic, yes, because women, all men, driving bad.
Oh, yeah,
My wife,
Bianca,
oh, I'm
Bianca, do you
sorry, Uncle,
agree,
I'm sorry.
João?
Okay, okay, I am joking. Okay, I'm joking. But
I know,
I
I
did
know.
that. I today I don't do that again. But I didn't. I did. I'm sorry. Yes, really, really. I'm an honest man. Okay, then I did. My wife. Oh, my wife. Strike to me. Okay, okay, but okay, whatever. Or happened. Okay, but yes, because this thing is very interesting topic because judgment about any area. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
said
yeah,
before yes, but today I'm trying analyze before, okay, ever about any areas. I'm sometimes I'm trying to don't stimulate that in my kids, okay, because when when we turn father, we have a bigger responsibility. Then we need to change our behavior, okay, our self behavior. Then I'm trying count the word. I'm trying count the word to more balance to my kids. Then very important that because that my wife um, clan that to me, okay. Reclamar, né? Clan, yes, I think that.
I
Sometimes
think so.
I'm change the word, okay. Well,
Don't
because
worry.
that
We are here to do
about
that.
oh
We are
oh
here
of course.
to practice.
Yes, 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 yes. Because that's my wife told that to me, but in other areas I don't have this experience bad. Okay, of course. Oh God, incredible that. But in traffic, oh traffic, man, oh man, mainly terrible in here. Oh man, crazy people, crazy people.
I
In
can imagine.
traffic car, incredible. the crazy path. One thing more. Another day recently, my wife and I talk about racism, specifically racism. My wife told me. My wife is a woman, a mulatto. Okay.
Okay.
Then a mulatto woman. Then told me. My wife told to me. Uh, to her, the black people has racism with our ethnic. Incredible, because my wife lived that. Yanka maybe know better that, because beautiful woman, black woman. But my wife told me that I waited because I saw that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes, unfortunately, that
I have the
I
same
saw
feeling
that
with my
occur.
father. I have the
Hmm?
same feeling because some
Mm,
experience that I had some
oh,
years
the
ago,
the
something like that.
the Portuguese people are very
Yeah,
racist. Incredible.
I think
The
the
people.
society at all, João,
Yeah.
my
Uh,
opinion.
to me,
It's
Europe,
it's
In general, Europe people um uh, has this behavior, bad behavior. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
Brazilian people not
I think it's
not common, but
this is easy.
sometimes has black people with this bad behavior, but Brazilian more friendly to ethnics, different ethnics.
And I think Brazil
But
is
Europe not.
Brazil is not so good in my opinion as well. We can imagine about the European something like
Yes,
that.
no, so good, but more
Better,
friendly.
better. I got
But
you. I
in
got you.
Europe, not. Nope,
I got you.
nope, nope.
My father said interesting thing about American. My father lived on USA for around of 6 years, and he said he hadn't that experience with racism there. It's interesting. He had a bad experience here in Brazil, but he didn't have a bad experience there in USA.
Incredible.
Uh, yeah, and my father worked as a car uh,
Drives.
no, a mecânico. I
Uh,
forgot how to say that.
Mechanic car. Okay.
I think yeah,
Car
a
mechanic.
mechanic
Car
car,
mechanic.
and
Okay.
he worked with journal. He delivered journal at at houses, you know. Uh, and he didn't suffer any kind of racism there. Ooh, yeah, it's interesting. My father was a illegal immigrant there during the time he was there, and he had no problem with this there. It's interesting. Norberto, your turn, please.
Okay, question number two.
Yeah.
Yes, I would have handled it differently now. With more life experience, I've learned the importance of communication and perspective. Instead of taking personality, I would try to understand why the other person made that judgment and address is calmly. It's crucial to give people the chance to see who you really are rather than just react defensively.
Yeah, you answer with a polite way. I don't know if I had in a situation I would have this patient to think about these things before to answer because it's hard. Well, one more time, I like to bring an example to answer my answer. I had a situation in my current role with my current lead where I thought that he was a person with no commitment about the job, because I remember a lot of situations that he doesn't appear on the meetings, or not participating of some forums, some talkings that we used to have. When I had this perception, he wasn't a lead, he became a leader after that. And the coincidence was that he was become my current leader, and I had the opportunity to share my thoughts to him in a one-on-one appointment. Of course, I've decided to choose better words, or a good way to explain my ideas, and he completely understood me, and he agreed with me, because he admitted to me that he was away in a lot of opportunities, and he said to me that he did that because he was think those things was not important for him in him thoughts, so I had a bad perception about him, but I could understand his context, and we have been aligned our expectation, I would say, about this happenings. So it's another good example about how to try not to make mistake. Like João said, I'm an honest guy, and of course I did a lot of bad judgments along the way. But as human, I think it's important to try to enhance ourselves to make better along the way. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. João, could you read and answer? Question number 3.
Of course. Should people openly other judgment? They will face it, or is it better to ignore them? Why? Well, yes. To me, it's important to, if possible, ignore, because like Norbert said, okay, or Yanka said before, the face this thing is complicated, because you keep the conflict. If possible, important avoid that. To me, okay. Sometimes is a to me is a better behavior. I advise to my kids like that. Oh, if you heard something bad, okay, go ahead in your life, and don't pay attention to that, okay, if possible. Okay, sometimes isn't possible, then
Yeah.
real problem. Then important you have good arguments to ask the people or person about real motivation. Then important that. But to me is a very important. Always possible avoid conflict, because struggle don't take to good way.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you, João.
that's it.
Thank you. Well, for me, I think it depends of the situation, you know. But I'm a kind of person that I'm going to try to have a good discuss if I see that it's possible to talk about, of course. If I'm in a group of people, for example, that I know that I'm a minor part of them, or if I could be not safe in that place, maybe it's better to avoid, like you said. But I'm a person that don't agree with some things, and I try to share my opinion. Like I said, depend of the context, of course. And yeah, for you, Roberto.
Okay. Um, I think it's dependent on the situation, but generally, I believe people should openly address judgments they've faced. By discussing it, we can clear up misunderstandings and educate others. Ignoring it might seem easier, but it does not have change the behavior or perception of the person making the judgment. Open communication can lead to growth and better relationships.
Yeah, you said the same thing I said. And for you, Yanka?
I think that's important to face it because if we don't, the person that discriminates will keep doing this. Will keep
Perfect.
transmitting this not just for their partners, but for the new generation, for example. So these bad behaviors will keep continuing. So we
Yeah.
have to face it. I think a lot about the Black movement on the United States, for example. They had to fight and fight with guns to their rights, you know. So sometimes we have to go to the extreme to show the others that what you are doing, it's not good. But in my case, sometimes I think that there are some people that I think that don't worth it,
Yeah.
or situation
It's the
that don't
problem.
worth it, you know.
Yeah.
And because I try to economize myself, I don't know,
Yeah.
or to prepare myself because the day's so hard or something so hard that I just prefer to,
Avoid.
yeah, avoid. And I don't think that will change nothing, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think that will change. So I prefer to pick my energy and to use to do other things that I know that will solve problems and will have some effect, some real effect. And I say more, sometimes we see discrimination happen and we don't do nothing, you know,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
people that say, oh, I do not discriminate and so on. But when thinking about two examples, for example, in a group of men friends, when some men said bad things, some really bad things about women, a lot of men just listen, sometimes laugh, sometimes agree, and do not nothing. Don't confront their friends. Don't say, oh, friend, what you are saying is a shit, you know.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just not do nothing, you know, just so sometimes it's nice to not just to say the things in a public environment. In your private
Yeah.
environment, you have to change it
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
too easy just
I
to
agree.
show that you don't discriminate, but in your private moment, you
You have
discriminate.
power in your particular environment.
Yes, and another example that we had to face and we had to change, it was when a man, a husband, beat her wife, for example. For a
Yeah.
long time, we thought, oh, na briga dos outros a gente não mete a colher. But we have to put our spoon in there, yes, because sometimes we have to call the police. And we
Yeah.
did it. Now we have Lei Maria da Penha and another ones, but because we face it, we do not ignore because
Yeah.
ignoring a lot of women got killed. So we had to change, you know. So I am not very, I don't like to ignore. I think that we have to fight. But I pick my fights nowadays.
Perfect. I try to do the same, Bianca. Sometimes it's hard. In my particular environment, it's easier, like you said. Guys, unfortunately, we don't have more time. Just next week, I would like to invite you. We'll talk about AI ethics and avoiding pitfalls in workplace. You know, it is two interesting topics to talk about next week. I hope to see you there. Have a good day, Friday, and see you. Take care. Bye bye.
Good weekend.